Let's go to Ronnie. He's a Spurs fan, and he was at the protest today. How are we, Ron?
I'm very good, Madge. How are you, buddy?
3 points today, mate. At home, it was needed, wasn't it? It was needed.
Massive.
How was it over there? How was the atmosphere?
The atmosphere was okay. You know what? Like throughout the game, there was lots of support. We had the protest before the match. There was hardly any Levy out chants during the game, which was okay because we're supporting the team.
Mm-hmm.
But my main reason for calling up is to talk about the protest.
Yeah, tell us more, because it's been an interesting topic for discussion tonight. And, you know, when you do see some of the pictures and videos I've seen today myself online, you know, it can't go unnoticed. That's the whole point of a protest. People want to be heard. So I want to hear what happened today. Yeah,
look, I think over the last few months, there's been attempts to protest, I'm not going to lie, and they have pretty much fallen flat, if I'm honest. But there's a group that are on social media, Change for Tottenham, who have really kind of ramped this up. And today there were a good, I would say, couple of thousand, really. We were involved, myself, my mate Ravi, and my two boys, my boy Kieran and Ravi's son Drew. We went along and supported the protest. I mean, look, ultimately, I've been a Spurs fan for 38 years, right? And in that 38 years, I have seen us lift an FA Cup and a Carabao Cup.
I'm the exact same boat as you. Right. That's my numbers. Well, don't forget, the Worthington Cup as well. Alan Nelson with the diving header.
Sorry, Worthington Cup against Leicester, and I did the breakdance when I was at university. That was massive, right? But we are now a team that are generating hundreds of millions in revenue. And this is where I'm going to give a balanced view, right? Daniel Levy has done, and Enoch have done an amazing job since they took over the club.
Agreed.
And have generated millions in revenue. They have built us a new stadium. They built the training ground that everyone talks about. We've got all the commercial revenue and everything that you can want to ask for. However, why are we falling short on the pitch? We are, if you want to put it in footballing terms, we are Real Madrid when it comes to commercials, but we are, no disrespect, Watford or Luton Town when it comes to buying players on the pitch. And this is what the protest today, I believe, is all about. I want us to see our club be able to compete with the likes of Manchester City, with Liverpool, with the Man Uniteds of the past, with your Real Madrids, with your Barcelonas, etc. in the Champions League, because we have the power to be able to do that.
Yeah, you was in the Champions League final, by the way.
Yeah.
We did. No, don't get me wrong. We did get to a Champions League final. That was an amazing run. Me and my pal Ravi, we were there at the final. We went to Madrid. However, that season did paper over the cracks because Poch did a massive job that year. However, we should be a club that is able to compete at that level year in, year out.
Well,
okay?
I'm going to give you this one counter argument about Spurs, which I see at the moment. That first 11 that Ange playing the system that he had is actually not a bad first 11. And I think the problem you have actually is
it a top
depth.
4-11? Is it a top 4-11?
I think that first 11, if it had the same backup that, say, Liverpool or Man City have, the bench is stacked, I think you've got a chance of being top 4 club. So I don't think you're a million miles away. I certainly think, and I think someone said it on the TV today, you're a lot closer to Man United to a top 4 team.
I totally agree. Yeah. If we had the backup. But let's go back a little while, right? A few years ago, we played at Wembley Stadium when we were out of White Hart Lane when it was being rebuilt.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that period. Yeah. Okay.
So let's go back to that period. You talk about Liverpool. We beat the Liverpool team 4-1 that day.
I use this as my marker. This is my marker, this one. Go on.
And there you go. Madge, I'm with you on this. Right? We were amazing that day. Since that day, Liverpool went on a trajectory where they bought players that were needed for their first team. The likes of Van Dijk, the likes of their
but hold on a minute. Just one sec. Would you say Liverpool paid more money than you? Have spent more money or just recruited better?
No, they haven't. They haven't paid more money.
No, I don't think so either.
Puds, what I'm going to say, they've recruited brilliantly.
Yeah, okay.
But where does that structure come from? That comes from the top.
Yeah.
Okay? We've had an owner that has owned this club for 26 years. We've had 16 managers, possibly 17. Don't quote me on my facts, but 16 managers. If I went for a job and I showed my CV to someone to say I've got 26 years of experience, but I've had 16 jobs, they're likely to toss my CV in the bin because they'll go, you're a joker. You have had too many jobs in that 26-year period. Where's your longevity? What have you done? Prove to me what you have done over that 26-year period where you can actually say you've done something and you've achieved something. You can't achieve anything with 16 managers in 26 years. And that goes back to the core problem that we have at the club, which is the ownership. We sacked Martin Jol during half-time of a European game.
I remember that was heartbreaking, that was.
That's unbelievable.
Friend of mine, Martin Jol.
That's a good boy.
For a club of Tottenham Hotspur that is supposed to be one of the elites, right, we should have a bit more class than that. We should be able to compete. We should not be sacking managers at half-time.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Can I just ask another question then?
Go on, then.
So if you want Levy out, so you want him to sell the football club, but aren't they trying to sell it?
Here's my point, Pards, and that's a good question, and I'm about to answer that. What Levy has done for the club, and this is me trying to be balanced, is undoubtedly brilliant. Okay, what I would love to see is for Levy to step to one side in terms of the footballing side of things.
Yeah.
Carry on with the commercials, the NFL, the
Presidenti
concerts. Yeah. Bring in all of that commercial revenue, the hotels, the properties, whatever it might be. But bringing someone who is capable to be able to manage this football team, which is ultimately what we are.
A recruitment, particularly the recruitment.
Yeah. We're not a concert venue. We are not an NFL team. We're not a Mario Kart. We are a football club.
Mario Kart.
I heard that in the background.
Come on, it's the Formula One experience. It's not the Mario Kart.
It's Mario Kart, Madge. I don't care what you say, right? We are a football club. We have been since 1882. Yeah. What's that banana skin? We've been a football club since 1882. So what we want is someone who can come in and manage that football club. We've got over 100 years of heritage in this club. Right? We want someone who can come in and manage the football team. I don't mind Levy staying on, managing the commercial side of things, as long as those revenues get pumped back in. We were told when we built this stadium, it would be game-changing. We were told that
it has been for some reason.
All revenues will be pumped back in to support the first team. Yes, we've spent money, I agree, but I don't think we've spent it in the right way. Now, we can argue the toss about whether we've spent a load of money and we've spent it badly, but ultimately that comes from the top, does it not? If you're a CEO of an organisation and you are constantly making the wrong decisions, where does the buck lie? Where does it stop? It stops with the owner, right?
But you know what? There's one thing I will say, Ron, is like I said, that Champions League final. Daniel Levy ain't playing in that final.
No, he's not. Of course he's not.
You know, and like those semi-finals that we closed, he's not. Some of that blame, and you know what? Conte did say about it, didn't he? When he had that massive run, he goes, "These players, they don't want to play under pressure and all that kind of stuff."
Absolutely,
there is,
and he was right.
Yeah,
Madge, he was right. I truly believe, and he even called out the ownership. He said these owners, they've been here for 26 years. What have they ever won? And he's right. Okay, I've seen us win hardly anything in my lifetime, and I'm now supporting this protest because I want my son to be able to grow up and see them win the trophies that I never saw them win. I might not be around, but hopefully my son can see that.
And mate, I don't even think we were a great call, Ronnie. Thank you very much. Interesting stuff about the protest there. You know,
it's a really kind of weird argument, isn't it? Because you got this valuation of the football club's gone massive. You know, you got the stadium, the training, so much going for Spurs. It just seems they just need to break this cycle of where they are at the moment, get the recruitment process in place, whether that needs another football director in there, as you say, and take the reins off David a little bit and let him do the commercial. Daniel, sorry. I can see that argument, you know, in terms of the criticism of trophies. I can see that.
Yeah, and that's the point, because at the end of the day, you know, we're in this sort of parallel universe now where, you know, the banter is Spurs don't win trophies, even though I think we're the 6th most decorated clubs, 6th or 7th.
Really?
Yeah. You know, you think of Spurs' history, and this is why older fans get so annoyed. First team to do the double, first team to win a European trophy, a British team. You know, there's a lot of rich history within Spurs. So this generational thing of Spurs don't win anything. It's just, we'll have to look at Everton.
Just the last 30 years.
Yeah, but we'll look at Everton, massive club, dominated the 80s, etc. That's why our producer Ross supports them, you know. And they haven't won anything since 1995. And I'll tell you the big one for me. If Newcastle don't win the Carabao Cup... If they do not win the Carabao Cup...
Don't start turning on Newcastle. There's no need. No, you just stick to Spurs.
No, you know I love the Tsunami.
You leave the Tsunami to me.
No, you know I love them, right? But when they fell, they get called the entertainers. When Spurs fell, they get called butlers.
Oh, I see. That's where he was going
That's
with
where I'm going with it.
I knew he was going with that.
So
okay. Right.
If they don't win the Carabao Cup this time...
Come on, the two.
I want them to win it because I'd love the Tsunami to get a trophy, but that'll be another club. That would be like, we won another trophy before Spurs.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.